We have more deck lists coming out of this week's PPG Eternity Code tournament. And the first list we're going to be looking at is Eldlich Zodiac. Now, when I initially saw this list, I was like, what? Like, what are we doing here? Well, we're using our nice, consistent Zodiac engine to basically fuel our other good cards, which are Magician Soul. So you can activate the Tanky, get your free search off. Combined with the Magician Souls, you can, kill your Tanky to get some draw power. Alright, and, you can recycle your very small engine to reset itself to get more card advantage. This whole deck thrives on the basic concept of advantage, advantage, advantage. Also, we're packing in some Dark Ruler No Mores so we can actually go break some of our opponent's boards. I think it's one of the cool things about this deck is you get the best of all three worlds here for what you want. So we have one copy of the Apprentice Illusion Magician Girl, probably the best magician that we have until, we get Dragma cards. Triple copies of the Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. Only 2 copies of the Golden Lord. I've definitely been seeing that a lot of builds are cutting down on Golden Boy. Golden Boy's still a really good card, don't get me wrong, alright? But at this point, maxing out on it is starting to look like a little bit of a disadvantage for certain players. Triple copies of the Magician Souls. So we have 1 Ram, 1 Rapier, 1 Throwblade, and 2 copies of Whiptail. You notice that we're not maximizing on any of these. Honestly, the best one is Whiptail, but you have to play 2 Whiptail because you need your cards to get bigger. Same thing with, like Throwblade. At least with this, you've got 4K, essentially. So, it's not bad. Triple copies of the Cursed Eldland. Triple copies of the Dark Ruler No More. 2 copies of the Black Awakening. We have triple copies of Tinky. 2 copies of Pot of Avarice. And 1 copy of the Zodiac Barrage. Then we have triple copies of Conquistador. Triple copies of the Eld Elixir of Zanguin. Triple copies of Hankaro, the Pirates of the Golden Land. And we have triple copies of Infinite Impermanence, wrapping up the main deck here. Then in the next deck we have 1 Relinquished Enema. 1 copy of my Anaconda Don't Got No Buns, Hun. 1 copy of Unicorn. 1 Megaclops, because Megaclops plus Eldlich is super LOL BM to the opponent. 1 IP Masquerade, with 2 copies of Tiger Mortar. 1 Hammerbong. 1 Trident, 2 copies of Chalkanine. 1 Borbo. 1 Juggernaut Libby. 1 Gustav, and 1 copy of Super Pallades Man. So I think we have triple copies of Lancia. Triple copies of Nibiru. Triple copies of Heavy Storm, a.k.a. Feather Duster, a.k.a. Raigeki, a.k.a. Lightning Storm. The card's so good. Triple Evil the Match and triple copies of Solemn Judgment, wrapping up Zodiac Eldlich. Now, like I said, I do honestly believe in terms of general evolution and things for the format, that seeing more of these builds that can splash in Eldlich and adapt and mold this creature into the best competitive deck for the format. It's interesting, and seeing all the viability and things that are coming out of these decks is really cool. Next up, we have the other Madolche deck that made top 8. Now this one, we're maxing out on the triple copies of the additional normal summon. We want to be able to stick that double summon on the field. We want to be able to resolve this. And as I've been seeing with most Madolche decks here, those Lightning Storms and those Dark Ruler No Mores being those power cards that allow this deck to functionally break these boards and get the chance to play the game. Also, only 1 Nibiru, by the way. I don't know how I feel about that. That's interesting. So we have 1 copy of Dino Wrestler Pankratops, Me Smashy Boardy. Triple copies of Angeli. 2 copies of Mr. Hoot Hoot, triple copies of the Mageline, 2 copies of the Messengelato, triple copies of the Pudding Soucior, 1 copy of Miss Pudding, 1 copy of Nibiru, with triple copies of Gamma, triple copies of Sphere Mode. Now, alright, we're not making evenly here. We're just packing, we're just opting for second all day long, and we're just handing our opponent balls. Yikes. And it works. I think that's the part that impresses me the most. This actually works. We have 1 copy of Driver, triple copies of Called by the Grave, triple Cosmic Cyclone, triple copies of Hadoken, triple copies of Cosmic or Lightning Storm, 2 Chateau, triple Salon, and 1 Ticket, 1 Mind Control, and triple copies of Pot of Extravagance. Then we have triple copies of Vivid Impermanence, 1 Promenade, and 1 copy of Red Reboot, wrapping up the main deck. Next deck, we have 2 copies of Fresh to Start, 1 Boral Sword, 1 Tornado Dragon, 1 Baguski, triple copies of Glass Full, triple copies of Tiaramisu, triple copies of the Shock Lala mode, and of course we gotta have the 1 Omega for the hand toggling and ripping. Now we have 1 Scythe, triple copies of Droll and Lockbird, 2 Nibiru, triple copies of the Pointer of the Red Lotus, triple Artifact Sanctum, and triple copies of Evenly Matched. Wrapping up, well, another fresh take on Madolche. I'm very intrigued by this. Both builds have been pretty wild from what I've seen. And then you have more like the standard build that came out of Yugi Joe's tournament this weekend. Next up, we have the interesting Emancipator list. Oh, once again, this is where our Weeping Idol comes in. Yes, remove from play a tuner monster from my graveyard to special summon this card from my hand. Don't mind me, I am an extender. Cool things that you can do. Triple copies of Analyzer, triple copies of Researcher, and triple copies of Seeker. All very basic. Triple copies of Ash Blossom, and then we have the 1 copy of the Block Dragon. This is actually kind of interesting. I've seen most builds pushing this card up to 2, and then you've even got builds that are maximizing this to 3, but post-Echo now, it's almost like it's not even worth it at times to be playing more than 1 of this. So that's interesting. We have 2 copies of the Gloves, triple copies of the Doki Doki, 1 Dinotherium, 1 Gigantus, triple copies of Go Gigas, triple copies of Koaki Mare Guardian, 1 Olion, 2 Quick Draw Synchron, 1 Shinthana, which is a special summon, and 1 Weeping Idol, wrapping up your monsters. We have triple copies of Emancipator Science, 1 Monster Reborn, triple copies of Tuning, gotta get our tuner right, 1 Twin Twister, and 1 copy of the Shade Brigadine. Down here in the next deck, we have 1 Union Carrier, 1 Link Ross, 1 Unicorn, 1 Phoenix, 1 Cerberus, 1 IP, 1 copy of Mr. Needle Fiber, 1 IP Masquerena, 1 Appaloosa, 1 Gallon Granite, 1 Dweller, 1 Martial Metal Marcher, this card's so good, 1 Herald of the Arclight, 1 Borrowed Savage, 1 Morpite, and 1 Dragite. You guys remember Leonite, right? The card we don't play anymore. Triple copies of Lancia, 1 Pankratops, 1 Buster Sword, triple Nibiru, triple Lightning Storm, triple Infinite Permanence, and 1 copy Red Reboot, wrapping up your beautiful second place at Emancipator list. And last but not least here, we have an Invoked Eldlich for you guys. Kind of bring it on home. This was like the standard for what we were going for pre-Eternity Code. Well, now it's post-Eternity Code, and this deck might not be the best anymore. So I have triple copies of Alistar, the Invoker, 1 copy of Apprentice Illusion Magician Girl, triple copies of Asher Blossom and Joyous Spring, triple copies of Eldlich, the Golden Lord, triple copies of Magician Soul, and triple copies of Nibiru, the Primal Being. Then we have triple copies of Eldland, 1 Eld Elixir, 1 White Destiny, 2 copies of Invocation with triple Magical Meltdown, and 1 copy of Terraforming. Then we have triple copies of the Conquistadors, triple copies of Eld Elixir of Sanguine, 1 Golden Land Forever, triple copies of the Hakaro, or my little pirate friends. They're going to plunder your booty. Triple copies of Vivid Impermanence, and then we have 1 Secure Gardener, 1 Al Mirage, 1 Anima, 1 Phoenix, 1 Alistair, 1 Juggernaut Libby, 1 Gustav Max, and 1 Pleiades, 1 Purgatrio, triple copies of Makaba, by the way, that's kind of interesting, 1 Kaliga, 1 Elysium, 1 Kaliga, and, of course, we now get to play the Agodius, which actually makes for Disruption a little bit better. Then we have triple copies of Lancia, triple copies of Gamma, 1 Driver, with 2 Cosmic Cyclone, triple Lightning Storm, and triple copies of the red-headed guy that likes to take cards out of your opponent's hand, aka the Red Lotus Machine. Wrapping up your copy of PPG deck list. So I'm going to leave the floor open to you guys, for those of you that did well top 48 for the PPG, send over your deck list. Let's see what you were playing, please. I welcome it. I got 2 deck lists so far, one of which I saw was Generators. And then we have a sluggish other deck on the side. So guys, what do you think? Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. And well, guys, take care. Peace. Thank you, patrons, for making the ride never truly end. Without you guys' support, well, I would probably be doing Truffle Shuffle videos for a living. Guys, please check out VanCole40 for all of your Cardfight Vanguard content brought to you by MCole40. And if you are looking to pick up singles, check out mcolegames.com for your trading card game needs. Thanks for watching, everybody.